there are a lot of very clever people around. People that have got a good understanding of the physical universe. They've given us the theory of evolution. They've given us the story of the Big Bang. And they've given us the science which allows technology to work. They've given us medical advances. So it's not my intention to disparage such people. I'm full of admiration and very impressed by it, like most of us. It's given us this technology which most of us use in our everyday lives now for work and entertainment. It's great. But if you're looking for understanding, then how much can we expect from the scientist or from the mathematician? What is the best that a scientist can give us? What is the best that a scientist in the pursuit of knowledge can give us? And a lot of science isn't just about technology, it's about the pursuit of understanding our environment. Billions of euros are pumped into the Large Hadron Collider in CERN for the sole purpose of finding out what matter is made up of. So there's this spirit of inquiry which is impressively supported by many governments. But what is the best they can ever tell us? What is the most they can ever give us? Well, the most that they can ever give us is a model. The most they can ever give us is a model of reality. Now, is there any scientist out there who can dispute this? According to science, we can never directly know what is going on out there. Science will tell us that what we experience is only a model. It's a model constructed by electrical signals. Electrical signals in our brain, although we have to assume that this brain is also a model. And I suppose we have to assume that the electrical signals are also a model. But the thing is, who is in receipt of this model? How can a model be the whole story? There has to be something in receipt of the model. The ultimate goal of science, the ultimate goal of scientific inquiry is a model, which it must be, it can't be anything else. Then what is in receipt of this model? And you'd think that what is in receipt of this model would actually be at least as important as the model itself. But for some reason, what is in receipt of the model is completely ignored. There's something very strange afoot here, isn't there? It's as if there's only the model. And there can't be anything else. But a model's just a model. There has to be something which can appreciate the model, which can process the model. So what's a model? A model's just another story, isn't it? It's just a story. Stories are models. Models are stories. And what's the model? What's the story that science ultimately gives us concerning reality? What's the ultimate model? Well, it's about electrical signals. It's about electrical signals, isn't it? It's about electrical signals coming into our brain, and our brain interpreting these electrical signals as colour, sound, sensations of touch, and so on. It's all based on electrical signals which are coming from something that we cannot know directly. You might wonder, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is it drives a wedge between us and there. It cuts us off. Science tells us we cannot know what is out there. All we get is electrical signals from it indirectly, and we construct our model. Science is telling us that our experience is nothing but a model. It's not the real deal. This is a fundamental limitation. Now, I asked who's in receipt of this model. Well, it's clearly awareness. This model is presented to our awareness. And science hasn't got much to say about awareness. It doesn't even want to acknowledge it. Or if it does acknowledge it, it tries to explain it away. It's just a particular rearrangement of atomic particles. This is why artificial intelligence is a bit of a joke. Of course you might get intelligence, artificial intelligence, but you're never going to get artificial awareness. Because awareness is not a particular arrangement of atomic particles. Atomic particles are the story, remember. Atomic particles are part of the model, which awareness is in receipt of. This is what the scientific model is being delivered to. It's being delivered to awareness. If there was no awareness, there would be no model. There'd be no model to appreciate. The model's created by awareness and presented to awareness. The model is a story which awareness has fabricated and presented to itself, and then forgotten that it's presented it to itself. So it's a story. The model is a story created by awareness and presented to itself. And because the story arises from awareness, it's non-different from awareness. Just as the dream is non-different from the consciousness of the dreamer. Hallelujah. This is it, folks. This is it. What's the problem here? Why do so-called rationalists behave in such an irrational fashion? Is what I've said not rational? I usually call this spirituality, but it's actually rationality. It's rationality pushed to its obvious conclusion. And that conclusion is there is only awareness, or, as we often refer to it, there is only consciousness. It is only consciousness.